This video is for topic 5.3 where we are writing equations of lines with a point and a slope. Our bell work has asked us to identify some of the stuff when given the graph. So first they asked for the constant rate of change. Remember, constant rate of change is a fancy word for slope. So we are looking from point to point, how much does it change? So from this point to this point, we go down 1, 2, 3. So because we go down, it is a -3. And then we go to the right 1. So -3 over 1, which is just -3. The coordinates for the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, is way up here at the point 0, 9. Remember, coordinate means put it as a point. The 0 means what is your x-intercept? So the 0 crosses at 3. And then your coordinate for that would be the point 3, 0. And then they ask for the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So remember, that's y equals mx plus b. So we found m to be -3 and b to be +3. So my whole equation would be y equals -3x plus 3. So today we are asked to write the equation of the line and graph the line using a point and a slope. But this one, we are given a slope and a y-intercept, which is good news for us. Remember that y equals mx plus b is set up for a slope, which we were given, and a y-intercept, which we were given. So when we plug in, we have a slope times x plus b. When we go to graph, we graph our y-intercept up at 8, and then use our slope of 2 to graph. A slope of 2 means up 2, right 1. It also means down 2, left 1. And then we graph our line. From here, we can clearly see that it is going to cross my x-intercept at -4, 0. For problem 6, we are given a slope and goes through the point -4, -7. So remember, we can convert if we want to. We have y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So we label our point x1, y1. We're given the slope of 5/4. Remember that point there is not my y-intercept. When I plug in, I plug into y1, m, and x1. When I plug in, my point becomes the opposite. So the -4 and the -7 are going to turn into a +7 and a +4 because there's already minus signs in my equation. And then my slope is 5/4. Now you could use point slope and solve or convert. So 5/4 times x plus 5/4 times 4. And then subtract 7 from both sides. And y equals 5/4 x minus 2. You could also plot the point on the graph, so -4, -7, plot the point. And then use your slope of up 5/4, up 5/4 to find your y-intercept. So again, if you feel comfortable with converting, you could convert to find your y-intercept. You could also graph it on the graph and see where it crosses the y-axis. The reason I am warning you that you might want to make sure that you can convert is because a lot of students struggled with plotting the point and using the slope to continue, so it might be more beneficial for you to not do that and to convert instead because we practiced that on Monday. Problem 7 says a slope of 0 and passes through the point -3, -5. A slope of 0 is a special case. A slope of 0 would mean it is a hoi because it has a slope of 0. Hoi means that it is going to be a horizontal line, and go through the y-axis. So this is, again, a special case. So for this point, we could plot the point -3, -5. So we go left 3, down 5. And then a slope of 0, remember you can write a z for 0, but it is a horizontal line. So this has a slope of 0. Your y-intercept is going to cross the y-axis at whatever your y point is, so -5. And when we write our equation, we just write y equals the y point because, again, this is a special case. So it's something that you need to know beforehand. So slope of 0 means we have a y equals my y point. The 3 or the -3 does not come into play. The slope of 0 only tells you what kind of line you're going to write. So for problem 8, we have a slope of -1/4 and an x-intercept of -8. X-intercept means this point. So let's go ahead and plug into our point slope equation. Y minus 0 equals my slope, which is -1/4. X, opposite sign of my x point. So from here, I could solve y minus 0 is just y. -1/4 times x, -1/4 times 8 would be a -2, meaning my y-intercept would be at -2, and the 0 was already given to me. Oh, sorry. When it says 0, they are asking for a number. When it says intercept, they are asking for a point. So this is the point 0, -2. We can also plot the point, x equals -8. Slope of -1/4 means down 1, right 4, but we can't do that, so we can also go up and to the left, up and to the left, up and to the left, up and to the left. So for problem 6, we were given the slope and an x-intercept, so point and slope. You can plot your point and use your slope to continue. You can also use point, slope, and convert. Problem 9 is another special case because our slope is undefined. Remember, that means Vux. Vux has undefined and is vertical and goes through the x-axis. So it goes through the point 6, 1, so we go to the point 6, 1. Undefined means it's going to go up, straight up, and straight down. So again, this goes through your x-axis at your x point. The undefined slope was given to us, and our x-intercept is 6, 0. We have no y-intercept, which is why they did not ask for one. So problem 9 and problem 7 are special cases where your lines are straight up and down or straight side to side, different equations, different slopes, different x or y intercepts that they are looking for depending on what type of line you have. Problem 10 asks us for a line that has the same slope as the linear parent function and goes through the point -3, -9. So remember, the linear parent function is y equals x, which has a slope of invisible 1. So we could plug into point slope, y plus 9 equals m x plus 3, because again, opposite signs, and we could solve, or we could plot the point -3, -9, and then use our slope of up 1, right 1 to see where it's going to cross. And it crosses my y-axis at a -6. And it crosses my x-axis at a +6. So this would be the equation 1x minus 6 in slope-intercept form.